drop the vape pen, get yourself some gold paint.
This week on That Car Show, it seems to be all about Ryan and the cars he's driven, but I promise you it definitely isn't. He talked about one particular car. What was the phrase you used, Ryan? Or Lindsey?
Sublime?
It was Sublime. So tune in to hear which car he called Sublime. He also talked about driving a Diablo, a car that dreams are made of. We talked about the comparisons to the Jamiroquai video.
Apparently not Sublime, though. Sorry.
Not Sublime. That wasn't the Sublime one. We also gave the team a challenge, and it's all about what was peak Porsche. If you could go back in time, what year would you go to? So listen to our answers on that. We talk a little bit about how the journalist world, the automotive journalist world, feels like they've been done wrong by the fact that GM are doing away with Apple CarPlay. Is it such a big deal? I don't know. NSX is coming back. We talked a little bit about that. And then finally, plans for SEMA, Land Rover shows, and driving more exotics. All that and a whole lot more on this week's That Car Show.
That Car Show is brought to you by Sheffield Watches. Sheffield is the storied watchmaking brand that was revived a couple of years back by our good friend Jay Turkbus, and it's seen wild success in both the car and watch enthusiast communities. Sheffield offers a wide selection of watches, many inspired by the iconic designs of its 1960s dive models, most notably the one that Jay's parents gave him in 1970, which ignited his lifelong passion for watches. Sheffield watches are high quality, reasonably priced, and a great value. Sheffield has truly become the car guy and car gal's watch of choice. Order your Sheffield watch at SheffieldWatches.com. Give them a follow on the gram at Sheffield_allsport_watches and tell them That Car Show sent you.
Welcome to this week's episode of That Car Show, and it's another cruise show. Hey gang, how you doing?
Hey.
Great, how are you?
Guys.
Good. I'm going to apologise to our audience straight away because I feel like we're going to be living vicariously through Ryan for this episode.
Yeah.
He's been up to all sorts of great stuff, and I feel very jealous. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about the new Subaru concepts that have just come out. So it's the Japanese auto show this week.
Yep.
And they released a couple of concepts, but in particular, have you guys seen the STI-B?
Yes. And it looked a bit familiar.
It looked very familiar. The first thing is they've done it wrong. They've done the launch wrong.
Oh.
So it looks like they've chosen World Rally Blue as the color.
Okay.
And we all know that with World Rally Blue, you have to have gold wheels.
A
The other thing, if you look at the back
that.
of it,
No gold wheels.
no gold wheels. It's a miss, Subaru. Come on. Have you learnt nothing over the last 25 years of having the STI, WRX, and all that sort of good stuff?
There's going to be a lot of vape smoke inhaled in anger today.
That's right.
Well, that's the opposite of like, what do they say? Simplify your life by making decisions once. Like that decision was made a long time ago and we all support it. Like,
Just
why are we
is.
mixing it up?
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. The car actually looks, I don't know about you guys, but especially from the back, it looks like the Honda Civic Type R took a GR Corolla out on a date after they'd met on Tinder. They went to a cheap hotel, put on some Barry White, and the love child was the B concept STI. Because like I can see bits of both car in it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a little derivative,
Very
isn't it?
distinctly.
Yeah.
Particularly from the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It does say, I think on one of the stickers, it does say it's going to be a boxer engine.
Okay.
Oh.
So I did wonder whether they were going to share engines with other manufacturers that they may have shares in.
Interesting. Well, and
the-
it's a concept, so at this point, it's pie in the sky.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
In
It
theory,
does look good. I mean, it's a good looking thing. It looks,
I'd buy it.
futuristic. Yeah, absolutely.
The seats look amazing.
Yeah. The seats.
Yeah, but and it's a manual, which is great.
That's always good.
I mean, they're sticking with it. Got to appreciate that, right?
They are saying that it's very
look at those
close to
seats.
production in terms of the actual
Interesting.
product. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope they get
Yeah.
some gold paint in the factory. And we
Dan, they say it's the metallics are the best ones to huff. Just saying.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It sounded really good.
I grew up watching Cops, and it was always a metallic paint, right? That was,
Yeah.
covering the
That's
faces
right.
of
Yeah,
the
you got
hobos,
those
so,
amazing well, this was before social media, but talk about a picture that would have been made for, or an image that would have been made for social media. Just the metallic. Did you see those?
There's
in the
your
UK,
ad.
Dan?
There's your ad right there.
Yeah.
Gold.
Drop the vape
brand new.
pen. Get yourself some gold paint.
Go for a drive. But I think for me, that's a yes. Make it and people will buy it.
100%. 100%.
I guess the nearest thing that we have to that in real life right now is the GR Corolla. We've talked about that quite a few episodes. But Ryan, seeing is believing, and you've finally been able to get behind the wheel. Is that right?
It's over there somewhere. Yeah, thank you, Toyota. I think I'm the last car journalist in the country to drive the thing. But I wanted to drive the 25 before the 26 came out. And, I'd heard such wonderful things. But the other thing is everyone I know that bought one sold it within a year or two.
With the exception
and bought
of
a Porsche.
Guilty.
Yeah. But you're one of a handful of friends who did that exact same thing, and so I figured, well, this must be flawed in some way. It must not be this perfect thing, I had read about. But and I got to say, so I took delivery of this thing. I guess it was Monday, and the Toyota people rolled up, and this one's in this beautiful dark gray, which would probably be the color I would go for. It's a good looking thing. It's got the boxed fenders. It looks good. It looks the part. And I drove it around a bit for the first day or two and just really wasn't blown away. It's a pokey thing around town, right? It's a single turbo, right? And like any single turbo, it can be a little on off around the city. And didn't think a whole lot about it. Rides a little flinty, and then I took it to the canyons. And it's sublime. So it's all-wheel drive. It's this single turbo. It's a manual. It's 300 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Most of you listening know all this. But there's something about that recipe that just comes together so well. It's light on its feet. It's just, when you're in the canyons, you stay in that power band. You're always up above 4,000 or whatever. The handling is amazing. It corners flat. It's a little sloppy compared to like a Porsche GT car, right? There's a little fat on the bone, but for 55 grand or whatever the sticker is on this thing, I mean, if I were looking for a one car solution where I needed something my 13-year-old could, ride in the back, we could take on a family trip, the seats are great. Toyota has completely revamped their seats. Now Toyota seats are great. They used to sort of bend you into this, C position and terribly uncomfortable. Could never buy a Toyota. Now the seats across, the line are great. But this would be my single car solution because I can take this to the canyons and have that feeling of satisfaction, right? It isn't my GT4, right? It's not going to hit the same limits. You're not going to be carrying the same speed, but it is damn good for what it is. And I'm so glad that I got the chance to drive it like it should be driven, and I will be back because I really enjoyed it. I pulled on some cars with a lot more horsepower in the canyons. It was just, so much so that they came up and said, "Wow, that car can hustle." And I'm sold. I'm
high praise.
Yeah,
high praise.
What did you? So you owned one for a year or so, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
similar.
For 50 grand, brand new, I don't think you can get a better car. I think we talked about it on previous podcasts. The Civic Type R is technically a better car, but it's not as much fun.
Yeah, and this car is fun. That car can be fast, as we know, and not be fun. And this car is fast enough, and it is fun. And it's just, I mean, I was laughing. I mean, it brought me joy, right? It's like that house cleaning woman, right? I mean, this thing brought me joy. I'm not going to throw it out. And I'm going to use it every day. It's good. It's very good.
You have Marie Kondo'd your garage, your ideal garage, and that would be part of it, or that would be it.
Yeah, it'd be an amazing third car for me, honestly. I don't know if I could swing
I love that it's the option, like that it would give you the option, like you said, there's not a lot of cars that could be a one-car solution.
Yeah.
And, and I'll be honest, I was not expecting the word sublime to be used to describe.
Neither was I. This is not the car I thought it was going to be.
So what did you think leading up, right? What was you looked at the car. What did you think?
Yeah. I don't love the way it looks. I think I probably prefer the looks of the Type R, to be honest. I'm probably more, I've owned a Honda. I've never owned a Toyota. I think that Honda still probably has a better, shift linkage and clutch feel and all that. One of the things I struggle a little bit with this car that does sort of fit into the profile or the kind of car I thought it would be is that it's a little, like I said, a little tough to drive around town, right? With the clutch, you get that sort of that chug, chug, chug sometimes if you're not just on it. And just the path of the clutch and all that sometimes makes it a little difficult if you're not on it to sort of get that arc. But I thought it was very much going to be an on-off car, sort of really feel like a tuner car, right? And thought it might not be the complete package. And I thought it would maybe feel a little heavy. I mean, we've all driven, Carrera 2s versus Carrera 4s, or Carrera 2. I mean, that's what is that, a 964? But a Carrera S, say, versus a 4S or something, right? Yeah. And you feel that weight in the front end, and it's a different kind of car. Obviously, there's not a rear-wheel drive version of this car, but it didn't carry that weight in the same way. It was very balanced. I played around a little bit with the track setting and all that. Honestly, I think I prefer driving with the 50-50 split. Maybe that's just how I started pushing it, but and I was on it. I mean, I was on it, and it was good. And like I said, a much more finished car, I think, than what I was expecting. Dan and
Lindsey, would you ever consider one?
I would love to drive one first. I feel like have to make an informed decision, obviously. And, I'll never turn down the chance to drive something new, but I love the idea that it has a functional back seat because I could take my whole family. And it sounds like even the dogs. So, that's a big selling point for me. Like I've said before, that's one of the things that I really love about the X3 is like with it being a manual, in a lot of ways, it's the best of both worlds because it's still an engaging driving experience, but I know I can take everybody in it. Yes. So I would definitely consider it.
What about the noises, Ryan? Did you, the first time you heard it do the dump valve thing?
Yes. I think I texted you right away.
Did.
This is so cool. I almost wish it were a little louder, right? Yeah. That said, I had to turn the car off in car line at my daughter's school because it was a little, I don't know, it was a little boy racer, right? Amongst the Volvos.
Was this your request or her request?
She didn't want me to pick her up in the car. I did not get that request. She's cool with a Porsche, but I think, the other kids know what that is, right? Yeah. I think this doesn't seem as special, right? No one really batted an eye. But I do love the way it sounds. I wish the red line was a little higher. I wish there was a little more sound in the cabin. I do love the blow off valve sounds. I mean, that's good stuff. I mean, and I now know why, these kids in town and their whatever WRXs that are tuned, or these guys in their diesel pickup trucks are making these sounds constantly because it's fun. But I think that if it were mine, this is a car that I think I probably would tune a little bit. Our buddy Johnny Lieberman has tuned his car to high heaven. He's done all sorts of iterations, right? With, in conjunction with aftermarket, outfits and stuff. This does, as good as it does seem like a blank slate, probably unlike any other car I've ever driven. Right, it seems like it's probably capable even of so much more. As wonderful as it is in the canyons, it could use a little more smoothness, a little more grunt down low around town. It is kind of a clunky thing to drive like in stop and go traffic, right? That said, it's good enough where if I needed a one car solution, I could handle that and I would still have a lot of fun in the weekends. And in Colorado, it's all wheel drive. Get yourself some snow tires, done. This is your car.
They're supposed to be amazing in car parks in the snow. Obviously with snow tires, not with just summer tires.
Does it snow in Seattle?
Yeah, it does.
It does occasionally.
And when it does, you really need it. But
high praise from Ryan.
Yeah.
Can I ask why you sold your car? And I know that it's not just the car. There are other factors. You made a move from Seattle to LA.
Do we have to keep talking about the fact I sold mine? Come on.
What if we promise this is the last time because I had the same question?
Okay.
Oh. Well, it was logistics. Mm-hmm. Like, I was moving down 2 states.
Yeah.
I had a truck full of stuff to take down. I had the Audi. I was going to be moving to LA, it's probably not a great car for LA. I mean, I know it's not, right?
That's
the traffic that you get in LA. That's it. Yeah. It would be a great weekend car in LA.
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably the one car I've owned that I still think about quite regularly. And it was, for me, it used to give me a little adrenaline rush sometimes. Yeah. Just an injection of adrenaline. It was,
That's you drive it like an asshole. Like, I mean, you just do, right? I mean, it godes you on to push it and to make noises and to, digging deep in, around the corners and city streets and all this. I mean, it's just, it really pushes you to, I don't know, to push it. you know?
Do we now have descriptions per car, right? So last week it was, if you're driving the Mustang GT, you're a dickhead. If you're driving the Corolla, you're an asshole. What are you in the Porsche GT4?
Yeah, that's.
I think we're developing a new scale, and it's going to be an organic development. It'll be a living document, as they say.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
It's a great car, guys. I really would encourage anyone to go drive one, but make sure you take it out of the city, right? If you take it on a test drive, go and take it on a back road. If you live somewhere where your commute is on some twisty roads, this is your car, right? This is not a stop and go traffic car because it's a little frustrating,
Yeah.
Brakes are amazing.
Yep.
The brakes are fantastic. And to see
good.
slotted rotors from the factory, that's kind of cool, right?
How many miles did it have on it? Because the other thing for you, right, is the brakes were amazing, but it was a press car.
Yes. Yeah, it had about 5,900 miles when I got it. I've got about 6,100 on it now. In the first corner and the first canyon, when I laid into the brakes and I felt that shove back, I was really impressed. You both know this. You both have, variations of the car. I do, the Porsche, where the brakes are wonderful, but you got to get into them, right?
Yeah.
And this car was a little more on off, and I don't know what's better, but it was different and gave me all the confidence in the world. It's a neat thing. I just every kid in a tuned WRX, gives you a nod. You
get kid respect.
You got kid respect. I need more of that.
That is worth its weight in gold, and then you can throw out the hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, and then they see the white beard, right? But just in closing, a wonderful car, worth every penny. A wonderful, only car solution for just about anyone, unless you are really in stop and go traffic somewhere.
Yeah.
This is hard to beat. What else would you spend your $55,000 on?
Right, on a new car. Yeah. Well, and Dan, I mean, to Ryan's point, like you took yours on several road trips, right?
Yeah.
And it was comfortable, and you had fun, and.
Yeah, I drove the Civic Type R, which I think is really the only. I don't think I love Subaru, but I don't think the WRX TR is a competitor to it because I don't think it has enough horsepower.
That's it.
So I think it's the Civic Type R, and you're going front wheel drive, or the GR Corolla, and you're going all wheel drive. But it's serious versus fun, and I always went for fun.
Well, this is, I think, the one case where the all-wheel drive might be the more fun car, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you don't hear that very often. Well, and I think
hard to beat.
Has there been, like Ryan, you mentioned, it was encouraging you to sort of take like even neighborhood roads safely, of course, but like take corners, more spiritedly than you might in another car.
Yeah.
Has there been another sort of sleeper car or a car that you guys weren't expecting to feel that way in?
Sure.
That you caught, like in the moment, you were like, oh, I want to kind of be a little more spirited. Like, has there been another car that has made you feel that way?
I think the only car that I can kind of draw a parallel to is the AMG, the CLA. Is it the 53 or the 55? It's whatever the top CLA. And the CLA is a car that in lower trims isn't too impressive. And I didn't have high hopes, but I enjoyed driving that more than the larger AMGs, short of like the GT, right? That was another car that made me feel like a
also.
Yeah, Cahoon,
I think we have another notch on the scale.
Hey guys, to be in a car, sorry, this is the last thing I'll say, but this car's got me kind of excited. It's a neat car. Not all cars you drive or get to drive are like this, right? This car really has made an impression on me. In the fact that you can actually shift. Our Porsches, you can take first gear to 58 miles an hour or something. This is a car in town. I'm not just in first and second gear all the time, and that's kind of fun too.
Yeah,
that is nice.
Very good. Well, we talked last week about that coffee shop I discovered down in Malibu.
Yeah.
I'm gutted because I didn't go this week. And guess what was down there? There was a Zinger just parked outside the coffee shop, and also a Tuttle 911K.
Really?
Yeah.
So you talk about LA cars and special cars. Like you don't see those anywhere, let alone a coffee shop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a 2-car solution.
Yeah,
it is indeed. So anyway, I need to get back there. I'm heading to SEMA this week, but I need to get back to that coffee shop and see what else is going to be there.
I saw the pictures over from the weekend, and I thought, oh, I really hope Dan was there because I want to hear what it was like.
Yeah, I wasn't. But it was interesting because also I saw that Larry Chen has just recently driven a Zinger. So I
saw
wonder
that
if
too.
it was Larry.
Could be.
Could have been because it was the same one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good on.
Or another automotive journalist. So
Yeah. Yeah. He was posting some Zinger content too, if I'm
Right.
not mistaken. So.
we will have to investigate.
I know.
Without making this all about Ryan, you went from one extreme to another because you went from a modern day, I guess, hot hatch to an old school Lamborghini. How was that?
So I just submitted the article to Autoblog tonight. So hopefully by the time you are hearing this, the article will be will have posted as well. So this is a 1991 Diablo. So the second year I think it was of the Diablo. And for those in the know, apparently this is the one you want because it's early. Later they had more power, all-wheel drive, and all this. But this is an early car. No electronic nannies. It's got those big 335 series tires in the back. That look like rolling barrels. It is. So I don't want to give away too much of the article, but I likened it to what I call a cigarette boat, right? All fiberglass and horsepower. And it really is that, build quality wasn't what it is now at Lamborghini, right? We were driving in the analog clock in the dash decided to fly out upon acceleration. It's little things like that. But if you look past that stuff, it is a hell of a thing because as much as I love the Corolla GR, there is no power down low, right? To get in a car where all the power is down low, right? And then it just goes and goes and goes right up to redline. It's a great feeling. It's what all cars kind of used to feel like, right? In a way, obviously not like a Diablo, but all cars used to have a V6 or a V8 and they were just so much more tractable around town. Now this car I barely fit in. Actually, I fit okay. I'll take that back. I fit in okay. I had plenty of headroom, had the seat all the way back. You sit in, and I don't know if you've driven a Diablo, either of you, but
Not yet.
The shoulder belt and the lap belt are two different pieces. And so the shoulder belt you attach up by your shoulder, and then the lap belt is like a standard lap belt, but you bring it from the center to the outside, and then you're presented with not one but two receivers. And I don't know why there are two places to plug this lap belt, and I have no idea because they're about 2 inches from one another. So I don't know if it's like you let a little out at the waist after Thanksgiving or what that option is there for. That was odd, and the car is just filled with little peculiarities like that, right? Like why in the hell did they do it this way, right? Where it could have, one of you mentioned the simpler solution, right? Like, why are we complicating this? But that said, you get in, you turn the key. It's a dog leg first, which, you've got to sort of be paying attention to. But it roars to life, and it's just, nothing sounds like that car. Nothing sounds like a V12, right? Through a gated manual. And it just goes. And it's got manual steering. When was the last time you drove a car with manual steering?
It's been a little bit.
I think the closest thing I can liken it to would be a Lotus Elise with 2.5 times the horsepower. And that's really what it felt like. But everyone gives you a thumbs up. No one hates on this car, right? Like it is an experience just to see it. I had the feeling out driving around that most of the people seeing it probably never actually seen one in person. I go into detail in the article about the first time I tried to take the car out and it broke down and some of the characters we met along the way. But, everyone has thoughts on a Diablo, and, you drive it and it grows on you and you want one. And, these things are going for about $250,000 right now. I don't know if it's where I put my $250,000, but also, like a boat, it's really great when your friend has one.
Right.
I was going to say, it's sounding more like get a friend with a Diablo.
I think that's the move. I don't know anyone who has a Diablo as a second car even, right? It's like a fifth car or a sixth car. But what a good fifth car or sixth car it is. It's a tremendous thing. If you ever get a chance, do drive one. Because I think by the time even the Murcielago came around, it was a different car, right? Yeah. Probably for better. but a different car. And that Diablo was just a moment in time. Read the article for more because I kind of nerd out on it. It was.
There we go.
pretty
I
cool.
will always remember the video for Cosmic Girl by Jamiroquai, where the car is racing through the, and someone had, the story behind that is that someone had driven it and crashed it in some way where the windscreen got smashed. So if you actually watch the video, he's driving the car without a windscreen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And now
I
you
love
know.
those little behind the scenes tidbits.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. How do you fit in there with that hat?
that's right, with the horns.
Very carefully.
He should have got the Roadster.
Guys, it's a amazing. Again, this and then I'll shut up. But drive one if you get a chance. Just sit in it. Just commune with it because they don't make cars like that. They hardly made them then. It's a special. The car's got an edge. It is just. It is living. It is living.
Nice.
Driving.
What's next? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, I'll tell
We
you.
have to watch the
You
space.
heard it here first.
Or maybe we get people to comment. What should Ryan?
okay,
So
okay, 'cause-
the theme here, right, is that you're driving cars from your youth that were posters on your wall,
Exactly. Poster cars. Yep.
and you've already driven Carrera GT,
Yep.
Diablo.
Yep.
What else?
F355.
355.
Yeah, I guess that's just those three.
So we're
But we've
talking
got-
90s ish.
Yeah, early
and you're-
90s, you know. Yeah.
So let
yeah.
us know what Ryan should drive next.
So
Yeah.
we want
I
them
guess
to
the Courage-
postulate.
Yeah, Courage GT came a little bit later, but that was that's a forever car, right? So
Yeah. Okay. We will watch this space and maybe reveal next week what's next.
you're going to be impressed.
Yeah. Okay. Is it Italian? Give us one clue. One
Yes.
clue.
There we go.
Yes, it is.
Ah, wow. Well, it's not the F40 because I know that's in the shop, but we will see.
The F40 is back, baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
but I'm not
Wow.
saying that's the one.
No.
but you're not
because-
saying
Next
it's
week.
not the one.
There's some other good ones in there too.
Next week.
True.
Next week. I thought, based on, we got a lot of good feedback last week about the VW comments we made. So I thought we would do a slightly different question for the group. And hopefully you guys have done some research because I gave you the
Yes.
question in advance.
Yeah.
I've got a wonderful question, wonderful answer, but I know that Ryan believes he's right. And I think Lindsay believes she's right.
I
Let me
mean,
give you
I
the
obviously
question.
am.
Yeah. Someone else go
Obviously.
first, though. I've done way too much talking.
So let me give you the question and then we can discuss. So you've stolen Doc Brown's DeLorean and you decide to go back in time and visit a dealership during peak Porsche. So we're talking the best time to buy a Porsche. What year do you set the clock and why? And what is your justification for that year? So Lindsay, do you want to go first?
Dun dun dun. Yes,
Do
and
you
I
go
like
vintage? Do you go
I
newer?
like that this scenario little thought experiment starts off with some light automotive crime with an icon
You've
in
stolen
both
something, yeah.
Hollywood and cars. I really appreciate it. And so the year that I'm setting the clock to is 1973. Because I would like to go back and see the 2.7 liter RS
There you go.
in dealership because I don't know what it was like at the time when that car came out. I think most of us would agree that if you had to pick like the Porsche, that is one of the top contenders.
Yep.
So I think it'd be really fascinating to see that in the moment it was introduced and kind of see it in real time,
Yeah.
knowing the sort of legend. I don't know if legend is the right word, but knowing how it is thought of today and how revered it is, I think it'd be really interesting to sort of see where that started.
Yeah.
Does Doc Brown's car have a trailer hitch?
It does
Could
now.
do. He's very clever. And imagine, like, at the time, I wonder if people knew what they were looking at when they walked in. Because
Right.
sometimes some of these cars, these legendary cars, at the time, they're not considered legendary. And even to a point where sometimes they don't even sell a lot of.
Right. People are like, what is this? I don't want it. Why would you ever? And then, decades later, they're like, wait, that was the peak or that was the penultimate or, I mean, I think I may be misremembering, but I think there was a little bit of that with the 959 because it was such a huge technological achievement, but it was different. And people were kind of like, it takes like people need a moment to process it. So I'd be curious. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same as it is now, but were there people that like recognized it for what it was at the time, or was it sort of a sleeper and like only with hindsight we look back and realize what a big deal it was. So I would love to, see that in action.
Nice.
I don't
Ryan,
know
I
that
feel
that.
like. Go on.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I don't know that the 73 RS was nearly as appreciated in time and period as it is now. And in fact, I seem to recall some stories about, these cars sitting, other things, tomfoolery to sell the things.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. That's why I think it'd be that would be my guess. And I think it'd be interesting to, especially because you could walk into a dealer and see one with the benefit of knowing what we know and just be like, this is wild. And I kind of have this amazing secret and nobody knows.
Yeah. And you think what else was in a Porsche dealership in 73? It would have been a 914, right?
Yeah.
Obviously your 911. Was the 912 still being made in 73?
No,
Probably not.
think so. But maybe, when did the 928 come out?
Well, that would have been.
Don't know.
Ooh, I'm going to look that up because now I want to know.
We can ask our
Ask our
research
research assistant.
Yeah. So that was 77. I would have guessed earlier. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But, right around the corner, interesting. It's a great answer because, I think the general lineup was also pretty solid, right?
Right.
Except for those 914s, but
The
we've
bar
come
has
around
been
on
set
those.
high.
So, yeah.
Very high. Ryan, what are you going with?
Let's hear the next right answer.
Well, I'm glad you went further back than I did. But I knew right away what year. And for me, it's 2011.
Really?
Because think about 2011. So 2011, if you know your Porsche history, was sort of in the end of the 997, and you were right in the middle of the point twos, right, the dot twos, and I'm really realizing that those are really my favorite modern Porsches. Our pal Tom Horan just took delivery of his RS 4.0, and being in that thing, like that is it. That is the alpha and the omega. That is the car. That said, the lesser 997s are equally wonderful. It's just the right size. You've got the right visibility. They're just fantastic. And the point twos for me with the GT3 and all that, it's really when it sort of came together for me. So 2011 was an interesting year because you were really at the end of the 997, the 990 right around the corner. But you had some wonderful models outside of that GT3 4.0 because you had the Turbo S that was just made, I think, for 2011 and 2012, which is an exceptional thing. And I think buy one now because those are only going to go up and up and up. The GTS, we often forget about the GTS, the 997.2 911 GTS. That was a neat car, had the center lock wheels. I think it had 385 horse. No, that was the standard. I think it had close to 400 horsepower. That was a really, really cool car too. You could get a 4, you could get a cab. That was another one. Also the GT2 RS. I believe that was right about that time. I may be off a couple years. We talked about those Volkswagen things. It was overwhelmingly positive, but we also had a lot of people correcting us. Oh, well, that car came out 1 year before, 1 year after. So,
right.
But that was at the, in the mix at the time for sure. But that was it for me. That was the first year of the second gen Cayenne as well. 2011 is when that was introduced. You could get a diesel, right? That was a great year for Porsche, right? And so 2011 for me. If I could do a George Costanza and make a bed under John Deisty's Basque, just soak all that 2011 in for a day or two,
right.
I'd do it because I keep coming back to that time. Those are my favorite modern Porsches. And it's not like Volkswagen. It's not like we've really fallen. I just think we were really, really focused in 2011. Nice. So
well,
that's
and like
my
you
answer.
said, that would have been like, I wonder how many other times in the history of the company there were so many models at the same time that would have held your interest, given that it's our, like what's interesting for us. Yeah. That'd be interesting to know.
That's it for me for sure. So,
all right, Dan.
Well, initially I was going to go for 1995 because I was actually doing an internship at Porsche at the time in the UK. And we launched the Turbo and the 4S at the same time. But I've not gone for that. I want to take you further back.
Okay.
And it's around 1986, 87.
Okay.
You are walking into the dealership. You get hit by a big wave of cologne. Like someone's wearing like
Noir.
Old Spice or something, right? With the slick back sales guy.
Sure.
You walk in.
Was he
and
sniffing a little bit? Is that
It could be. He's got white powder coming from his nose. Right.
I appreciate that you're setting the stage with so much detail. It's
Trying to
like,
make everyone
good
remember
stage.
what
right,
it was
it's like smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
So to speak.
You are looking like Joey from Friends. You're wearing your Porsche hat, your Porsche jacket, everything that says I own a Porsche, even though you don't own a Porsche. You've got the world's biggest telephone. So you're walking in with a mobile phone that is bigger than a brick. Yeah. And
Yeah. Early adopter.
you're not having to worry about ADM. This is way before everyone even thought about, hey, we can con people out of even more money. So there's no ADM on any of the cars.
Well, they were struggling a little bit even, right?
Yeah. So you walk into the
get a
middle of the
deal.
showroom and you see the 911 turbo convertible. And it's just in Guards red. You know, there weren't multiple colors. You pretty much had like 5 colors to pick from. And there it is, like, and it's on a turntable and it's kind of going around.
Fuchs wheels? Are we talking Fuchs wheels? What
Fuchs
are we talking?
alloys.
BBS? Okay.
Fuchs alloys. You know, dark dark convertible cover and the big wing on the back, the whale tail. You remember the whale tail? And then you realize you can't afford it. But what you do walk away with is you walk away with a brochure. Back then, brochures were amazing. Like, you would get these brochures that had so much love and attention gone into them, and they would give them out if you were lucky. So you could get this brochure of the car, and you'd walk away, and you're like, hey, I don't own the car, but I've just had a great experience.
And then you have one more piece of memorabilia where you're like, obviously, I've been to the dealership because I have this.
Yes.
That's a good year, Dan. I thought maybe you were going to say you walk away at a 944 of some variety.
Maybe, you can't afford it.
That
so
was
you
your
go for
consolation.
Or the 928. You've just bought the 928. It's been traded in.
That's right. That would have had a sticker price even higher, maybe than that. I don't know. I have to look that up, but yeah, that was, you know, we talk about, you know, what cars mean and what they symbolize, and you know, and you know, aspirational cars and all that, and you know, I think for a lot of us that would have been the car that really was on our radar or on our wall. You know, that was definitely Wall Street Bro. You know, what was the movie with Wall Street? It was Wall Street, but I mean, there was
it was
that
literally
aesthetic,
Wall Street.
you know, you set it up, right? Yeah, you know, shiny suits and, you know, and all that. And, you know, I've told this story before. We had a neighbor that, it wasn't a convertible, but he had a turbo right at about that same time, black, silver BBS wheels, seemed to have more than one girlfriend. And,
What?
you know, he was swinging bachelor for sure. And, you know, we were driving minivans or whatever at the time, and you know, that car was just in such contrast to what we were driving, what most people were driving in my town. I mean, that guy, you know, he had it figured out, and that I think that's when those cars really, the people maybe that were driving those cars really changed from, you know, who had driven Porsches historically, right? That was a time of transition for Porsche for sure. And I would argue that we've continued to almost sort of carry that, that in that same direction in a way.
Was that Gordon Gekko?
Gordon Gekko. That's
I was like, he had the best name, but I couldn't think of who it was.
I had to check as well, because I remember that there was a Porsche in Weird Science. Did you guys ever see Weird Science?
Yes.
I think it was a 928. It 100%. Wasn't a 911. So
in a Mondial, I think, right? Wasn't it a Ferrari Mondial as well? Yeah.
I love that movie. That's a great. That's a great callback.
Chet, was it? The brother, the big
reference.
Yeah.
But let us know if you agree or disagree with us. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was peak Porsche? Have we completely missed the mark, or did Lindsey get it right, or did Ryan get it right, or did I get it close to right but couldn't actually buy the car? I got the brochure. I like
that you threw a curveball in.
Yeah. The journalists of the world seem to be in uproar, and I don't really understand why. So I think GM have recently announced that they're no longer going to be supporting CarPlay or the Google equivalent. And there's been lots of different journalists complaining about this. I've seen it on LinkedIn. I've seen it on Instagram. And I guess my question to you guys is, would we actually care if we still had navigation, we still had the ability to skip through music? Like, would you miss CarPlay now?
Yes and no, because I think you're right. If you still have all the features available, it's really nice. But I think there is, we get used to a certain system, and I think there's a universality to Google or not Android Auto, but CarPlay, for me, and just knowing that you can, it's like going to Starbucks, you know what you're going to get, and so if you get into a car and you can get in, if it's got CarPlay, you already can just start using it without having to learn it.
Yeah.
So there's that part of it. But, I would hope that whatever they're moving towards is relatively intuitive. And so pretty quickly you'd be up and running. So I think I'd get over it.
Yeah. Ryan?
Yeah, I think I'm actually a case study because, we have this Polestar, and it was the first car that we'd had, I guess, that where Apple Play wasn't automatic. And what I mean by that is it has Apple Play, but Apple Play isn't wireless. You've got to plug in through the USB. And so we just got in the habit of not using it. And so Polestar, Volvo, whatever, has their own version, which is no less good, does all the same stuff. And we've just gotten in the habit, I guess, of using that. It's got its own navigation, all that. So I don't miss it. I've never felt inclined to go get a cord to plug in the phone so I could use Apple Play. There's nothing that Apple Play, I don't think offhand, can do that their proprietary system doesn't. That said, when I bought my Porsche and I bought the GT4, I wasn't going to pay for Porsche navigation, right? So that was a workaround for me to be able to plug in. Again, you've got to plug it in, but I've gotten in the habit and I use it there, right? Play music, the few times I listen to music in the car. So I don't know. I think at one time it would have been more important to me. I'm a Mac guy, iPhone, MacBook, whatever. But
yeah.
I don't know that it's as important as it used to be. I think its time they never really, I take that back. I think recently they did push it forward, but for the longest time, it never really changed, right? So I don't know. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. Dan, you?
It's a weird one. I guess the only thing I would miss is sometimes I will use Siri. So I will be like, hey, Siri, text, blah, 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 or hey, Siri, navigate me to here, or hey, Siri, what was the score in the soccer, the football? And my Siri's now going off. But
what can I do for you?
Yeah, it's listening too much.
Right.
I actually begrudge the fact that my car has CarPlay but doesn't have wireless CarPlay. That's what I want because I just had a McCann loaner for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And that you didn't even have to plug in, and it's like it looks like the same, screen. It looks like, come on, Porsche, just sort it out. So
it's so close, right?
Yeah, but I think as long as I had my music and as long as I had clear navigation, I don't care what platform it is.
Yeah, I think. Well, and so I saw that they were discontinuing it, but I haven't seen the comments. Can you share what some of the complaints were with the people that were upset about it going away?
I would have to go dig them up.
But I imagine it's something along the lines of, what does it cost? Why not just keep it going, right? I mean, what is this, pennies or, it's something we've always used, or I think the argument for probably a lot of people is that generally it's going to work, right?
And like you said, or like Dan was saying, the interface with your phone is pretty handy, to being able to use Siri. But I think, my guess would be it's data driven because I used to work for a company that was providing the our system, and it was a CarPlay competitor, but the OEMs owned all the data, and that was one of the complaints about Apple and Google is that if they plug that into their cars, you get the universal, functionality, but they don't get the visibility into the user data. So the appeal of using their own platform or working with a company that has built one, they get to see all of their user data, which is invaluable to them. So that would be my guess.
It's a good.
I've got so I'm connected to a few car journalists on LinkedIn, and this is Yuri. So if you don't know Yuri, he's one of the hosts of The Straight Pipes, which is a very successful YouTube channel. It's Yuri and Jacob. Hey, and we're going for a drive. That's their channel. And Yuri has said, GM getting rid of CarPlay and Android Auto across all models in the future. Dang, big mistake. Someone please Control Z this real quick.
Well, that's clever. That's
so he's clearly not happy about it.
You know what pisses me off more, if I may, is my one complaint about this.
Don't hold back.
GR Corolla, it's got a charging pad that doesn't do a damn thing. You can get it just so 2 seconds later the light starts flashing. I've taken the case off. I've put the case on. I've tried my new iPhone 17 or whatever this is. I've tried an old iPhone. It doesn't do squat. Other cars, they seem to either work or not work. To me, that's a much more important feature. And especially if you've got wireless CarPlay, right? You need to have that charger.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, those are tough.
Super warm.
Yeah,
phone warmer, right?
No, you're good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, how else is your phone supposed to stay warm in the winter? But that's one of those things where you see it and you get excited because you're like, oh, the ease. And then to have it not work, it feels like doubly frustrating because you're like, I was promised this amazing thing.
Yeah.
And now not only is it here, but it doesn't work.
And there are plenty of cars that do it just fine. You can throw that phone on however, and it charges. And others, you got to get it just right. In fact, I got so frustrated, I went into the GR forums, which I know is not where you want to go for 1,000 reasons, right? And the solution seems to be take some foam core. In fact, you could download a template. You take this foam core and you fit it in this tray, and it holds your phone in just the precise position to charge. So it's a position thing, I guess. But I don't want a piece of foam core in the middle of my car. I mean, come on.
Like, I love that there's a solution, but it's like, that cheapens it a little bit.
Janky is the word.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Ryan was so frustrated by this. He went onto the GR forums.
For a car that he's going to have for a week. Yeah. But that tells you how bad it was.
Yeah.
Or how frustrating.
You've had this car how long?
I may not give this one back, but I've had it for 3 days.
Now we know. That's why he's on the forum.
On the GR Corolla
My driveway has a gate. Come get me, Toyota. I like this thing. I like it a lot, except for that.
He's like, before I decide whether I'm returning the keys or not, or attempting to keep them, let me see if I can fix this charging pad thing. And now that I have, oops, can't find the keys.
That said, it would stop me from
your
buying.
phone is always out of charge. Just buy a damn cable.
I know. I like the sleek look intended by the designers. Thank you.
There we go. You don't want to spoil their aesthetics.
Yeah, I'm not an Uber driver, at least not yet.
So I think we should probably mention very briefly that last week we announced a competition.
That's right.
And you could win another Sheffield watch. Mm-hmm. We're not going to tell you how on this episode, but if you listen to last week's episode, we were very clear on how you could win it. We've already had some good entries, so thank you to everyone that's given us. And it's people that we don't know, and they're amazing comments, so thank you very much.
That's right. You. The competition is heating up, too.
I think you just sort of led on to how to do it, but it's simple. Let's say that. Yeah.
It was a good hint. Like, what is Ryan going to be driving next? It was a solid hint, but you got to go listen to the episode.
Yeah, listen to last week's episode, and the best of luck in entering the competition.
Yes. The episode was called Milking It, and we are milking it.
There you go.
Funny.
That Car Show is proud to partner with Drake Motorcars. Drake Motorcars is Denver's premier destination for exactly the kinds of vehicles that we like here at That Car Show. Think Velocity Broncos, Audi RS6s, Acura NSXs, and air-cooled Porsches. You can see their complete and constantly changing inventory at DrakeMotorcars.com and check out their amazing online reviews from all across the country. But our friends at Drake need your specialty car too. A sign of a good business is when there are more customers than inventory. So reach out to Drake too if you've got a great enthusiast car that just doesn't get driven like it used to. Find out more at DrakeMotorcars.com and let them know you heard about them on That Car Show.
The NSX is coming back, and I don't mean the new old NSX. I mean the original, the one that was worked on by Senna, and it's coming back via Pininfarina, which is a bit weird because I don't know. Did Pininfarina design the original NSX?
I've never heard that. But
I do not think so, but I could be corrected.
And a company called Jazz Motorsport.
Okay.
And they're going to use existing chassis. So this is a common trick. Singer do it. The guys at HWA, the folks that do Mercedes, essentially, if you're using an old chassis, you get to use the VIN from that chassis. So technically, it's not a new car. Technically, you don't have to crush it. You don't have to put it through safety tests. You know, you're already kind of starting ahead of the game, if you will. But they're going to put carbon fiber bodies of the NSX body on top of these old chassis. Is that something that appeals?
What's the price point?
Yeah, I can't see them being less than 500,000.
I know, and at that price, no,
Yeah.
not really. Not really. Did they make? I mean, we talk about Singer and how they're going to vacuum up all the 964s, but they did make a lot of 964s, even though they made relatively few 964s, versus all of 911 production. But what are we talking with NSX numbers? Because I never, I don't remember seeing a ton of NSXs back in the day. Some more NSXs at Car Week this year than I had up to that point in my life. I wonder how big that pool is. Obviously, they're not going to go through too many of them, but you can still get a good NSX, right, for 100 grand, maybe a little bit less,
Around 100 grand.
Yeah.
So the coupes, so they started in the 90s. The coupes in
1990
the
to be
90s,
exact, yeah.
1990.
Yep.
They made about 9,000.
9,000.
They then went to the Targa mid-90s,
Okay.
and they made 8,500. And then there were like special editions like the Type R, which were very much less than 500 each time.
Yeah.
So there's I guess there's 15,000 chassis out there.
Yeah, they made them for a long time.
Potentially, for the ones that have survived to this date. Yeah.
So carbon bodies, I assume there's some meddling with the motors and transmission and suspension.
Modernizing the V6.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure they're wonderful, but again, we've talked about this before. If you've got $500,000 to spend,
Right. Is that where
what
you're
I'm
going to put
spending
it?
on? Yeah.
Well, I feel like that would be like a fifth car maybe, or maybe I just need to be friends with someone who has it as a fifth or sixth car.
Yeah. I love the NSX, the original NSX. The newer one didn't really hit me until about the Type S or whatever late in the game. But that original NSX is a truly beautiful car. I've never driven one, but all of a sudden they just are really, really appealing to me. Right, just at the same time, right? Like the prices are going up, but they're wonderful. I do wonder if I'd want more power, but it's not nothing.
Just a sign that you have good
horsepower.
taste, right?
That's it. That's I try.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would almost rather have just a really good original and then money for for other cars or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards too. I got to sit in an original, and it was really cool, and they're very unique. Obviously, if you've gotten to get up close, you know that. So I would love to drive one, but I think if I was in the market for one, I would be looking for just a good example of an original.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I sat in there's a really limited edition Type R, and it wasn't available in North America. I think it was only available in Europe and Japan. But the two things that struck me with that is the seating position was too high. So you couldn't, even someone who's maybe, half a foot, someone shorter than me wouldn't be able to drive it with a helmet on.
Okay.
Okay.
The seating position was just too high.
And was it a different seating position than just the regular ones? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a proper sports seat, like a proper race seat.
Like a fixed. Okay. Yeah.
It has the smallest gear knob of any car I've ever seen. So I challenge anyone to show me a smaller gear knob than the NSX.
Insert
Type
jokes here.
Here's our next contest.
Yeah. Which was amazing. You could almost just use two fingers and pincer the gear level. It was not. It was not conducive to, proper shifting.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no
So
more
many
inside
jokes.
jokes on that
So
one.
little
There's not
We
enough
better
time.
just let this one go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needed, needed car Viagra. Moving swiftly on.
That car show is not
Oh,
sponsored
man,
by
there's so
Bluetooth, but
many
we are
jokes
open
on
to
the tip of my-
discussions.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was thinking if we can get a few more sponsors, and we're obviously very grateful for the sponsors we have,
Yeah.
but maybe we could buy a group GR Corolla and pool it
like
between
this.
them. We'll keep it in LA, let's say, because that's geographically the nearest from
Right.
Seattle, from Denver, and from
Right.
Orange County.
Right. When you look at critical mass, that's the most central. And we're happy to wrap it in a Blue Chew livery should they be interested.
There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know if you want to sponsor us and help us get closer to a company car.
This sort of lozenge shaped. A question for you: if we were to do that, what would the vanity plate read?
Depends on the sponsor, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can they did a limited, like Johnny's got one. The
Yeah.
blue is really limited edition.
Oh,
It was
okay.
only available in 1 or 2 years.
I see.
I want to say it
and
was just the first year.
Yeah. and it was a refresh back to. They did it on the normal Corolla for like 1 year.
Okay.
So you could do that and then have Blue Chew, BLUCHEW.
There you go.
Yeah, that fits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, yeah,
Our phone lines are open.
I think you've got more letters and numbers in California. We've only got 6.
Yeah,
here
we have
in-
7 in California.
Yeah, it makes it a little tougher, but
is that
also
because people
symmetrical.
can't read as well in Denver?
They're all high.
the words
You
are
know, the vision's
hard.
a little blurry. You know.
They're like, listen, the comprehension cutoff is 6. We're capping it. Otherwise, they're going to be too overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm just
that?
grateful
Well,
when I see a license plate on a car in Colorado, and if you live here, you know exactly what I mean. So.
Yeah. What's that Instagram account? Is it Plates of Destiny or
Oh, urban_plates, I think.
Urban
I
underscore
like Plates of
Check.
Destiny better.
Yeah. Perhaps we should set up Plates of Destiny.
Sounds like a Mormon thing.
Comes with a magic wand and its own spaceship. And once you reach a certain
Potter.
level, you get a robe.
Oh, shoot.
Harry Potter and the Plates of Destiny. There we go. Harry learns to drive.
That's the unpublished secret sequel or whatever.
Yeah. It's the new J.K. Rowling book.
Harry works
what,
on a plate.
what have you guys got coming up? Can you share anything?
Sure.
Ryan, what do
Lindsey,
you?
I'm looking forward to the LA Auto Show, which is going to be here before we know it. I'm looking forward to getting your impressions of SEMA. I have not been but once, and that was a couple of years ago. It was overwhelming. If you're really, really lucky, you can take the Boring Company's underground Tesla.
That's
train,
right.
whatever you
Interesting.
call it.
Yeah.
It's super exciting. There's a reason they call it the Boring Company, but there's that. And I'm just curious to get your take because there are halls and halls of dent pulling equipment and,
Clamps.
terrible chrome wheels and, polishing machines. And so
You name it.
make sure you get a map because you want to go to the right places. Unless you're into that kind of thing, you want to see like the new cars, you want to see the concepts, you want to see,
Well, and the
stuff.
builds, the
builds,
crazy
yes.
SEMA builds.
That's it. Yeah.
Is there a Tory VW in there?
No, not this year.
Not this year. There we
But
go.
his legacy carries through.
Right, exactly. I mean, I feel like there's the spirit of Tori's builds will be at all these events.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's inspiring other builds. Hopefully, but yeah. So Dan, do you know what you're going to be doing there? I haven't been either, and I'm really curious to hear what you think.
I don't know. I'm very grateful to the folks. They've given me a media pass. So,
Nice.
because they changed the model a couple of years ago. So it used to be that you had to be in the industry to go.
Right.
And now they've changed the model, so there's one day that's open to the public, and they do a nice festival and live bands and all that sort of good stuff.
Oh.
But I don't think I'm going to be around for that because I think that's the Friday and that's the day I drive back from Vegas.
It'll be fun.
but-
You'll have a great
Yeah,
time.
I'm looking forward to it. Seeing lots of friends, making connections. Already had a few party invites, so
Nice.
it's all about networking and having a little bit of fun.
Right.
So
And
it
that's the
should
way
be-
to do it. What are you?
Yeah.
So what are you most looking forward to?
Just the builds, I think. You see occasionally on Bring a Trailer or something the ex SEMA build, and this
Right.
is always after the fact. Whereas you're going to be seeing it firsthand. They'll be announced and launched at the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
so
I
you've
think
not
with
been,
the-
Lindsay, is that right?
I haven't, and every year I see the pictures and I think, okay, next year I have to get there. Because
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but it seemed like more trucks than usual, or I think there was like a special truck theme or something. And some of those builds, like between the size of the wheels, the intricacies, the size of the tires, and then the intricacies of the paint jobs and the, accessories, it was just like really a feast for the eyes. So I'm
So are
curious.
the people.
Right. So I'm curious to hear what it's like, for real, Dan, what you think.
Yeah.
And do we
And-
know if you're staying at the Drift Hotel yet?
I think I am staying at the Drift Hotel, unfortunately. I'll be driving there and back in a brand new F-150 Tremor.
Oh, really?
So I will let you guys know,
fit
Lindsay,
right
that's
in.
the car of the Pacific Northwest, maybe? Or,
Right.
It's
Certainly
the affinity you
a
have.
potential dream car for me. So I'm curious to hear what you
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
very
Well, you be
big fan.
careful, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Have
This
all
is
the
the
fun
recipe
and
for
then
a marvelous time or
yeah.
absolute
It's,
nightmare.
yeah, big thank you to Ford for
Yeah,
for
that's
lending me
awesome.
the car.
I'm jealous.
That's, very kind of them. And yeah, I'll let you know opinions. And yeah, I'm excited to, because this is like one down from the Raptor, but it's
Yeah.
also off-road worthy in terms of, it's not, one of the builds that they have that is kind of less, is more on-road. This is off-road, so
Right.
it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it'll be
Were you
fun.
going to be able to get out into the desert at all?
Maybe before. We'll see. And Lindsay, what are you up to? You're
Not.
going to do a Defender event? Am I allowed to talk about that? Or do we hold on that till...
Yes, I will be doing a Defender event, so stay tuned for stories. I would anticipate there's going to be some more off-roading, which I love, and the Defenders are just oh so capable of doing. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. That'll be fun since the driving season here seems to, there may be a sunny day here and there, but at least last weekend was not conducive for going for drives. So it is
Getting
what
that
it
way
is.
here too.
What's the name of the event? Because there's a band playing, isn't there? Quite a cool band.
They have bands like throughout the event, so it's called Destination Defender,
Nice.
and it's put on by Jaguar Land Rover as a celebration of the Defender.
What is interesting is they're slowly wearing you down to buy one. It's a very
Maybe
slow
not
process.
not even so slowly.
Yeah. It's like eventually we keep inviting her to these events. She'll buy one. I'm sure she
Right?
will.
Yeah, like it's a matter of time. Trust me.
We'll have fun. That'll be great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's the car that like you see on the road and you kind of want it, don't you?
Yeah.
They're just beautiful and they don't let it go anywhere.
They really are. Well, and it's kind of like, Brian, you were talking about a one car solution. I think, obviously no car does everything, but I love people talk, people that drive at the racetrack. There's a lot of talk about like, if you can drive your car from home to the track, drive it on the track, and then drive it home, there's a certain, and maybe it's just personal, but it's like you feel a little bit triumphant of like, look at how capable this car is, and it's capable on the track, and it's fun to drive, and I can also drive it on the street. And I feel like the Defender is a bit of that for off-roading because they're so nicely appointed. They have all the features and, bells and whistles you could want. They're comfortable, obviously great visibility because of the height. So you can drive them to the trailhead, tear up the trails, and then drive them home in comfort. And I feel like that's not all cars can do that. And that's one of my favorite parts about them, especially because they are so capable off-road too. So
Yeah.
Big
Kudos
fans
to
of Land
Rover.
Rovers here on that car show.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. Land Rover.
I was
We
doing
like
this
Land
other round,
Rovers.
kudos to them because they're putting on a set of experiences which is very different to any other car company, right? To have this kind of festival, that's not
Right.
really. It looks like Sarah Price will be there. So Sarah, we worked with
that's
the Delegation.
amazing. Well,
So,
because she is driving one of the Land Rover sponsored Defenders in the Dakar Rally.
Yeah,
Right on.
very good.
So
Well, enjoy.
Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing reports back. On
I
both.
will bring all the stories.
I think we're at a show, aren't we, folks?
Indeed.
It's looking that way.
Yeah. Who wants to leave us with the phrase that pays?
Dun, dun, dun. Ryan's pointing, but I think we may all be, it's like Zoom where
He's not pointing at me, is he?
Well, there's only one person who does this right.
That's true. It's turned it into an art.
Yeah.
well, thank you both. Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're That Car Show. And remember, always be driving, and we'll see you next week.